Hello, ho, ho, and welcome back to Python. And now we are, talking about generated user interfaces. And I want to show you how to create a generated user interface, which is simply an interface that can be used by non-programmers. So when you're programming something which should be used by people who don't know Python, you can generate a user interface. And how that works, I will show you now. There are many packages regarding that, so maybe I will make multiple videos regarding that topic. But today we are looking at Tkinter. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. I worked a lot with that, but I'm not sure how to pronounce this because, I never really talked about it. But today is the day. So first of all, we are just creating a very little user interface today. We are importing Tkinter, and our GUI is our variable. It is an object because it is Tkinter TK. And now we are having GUI as an object, and that's it will only loop. It will only work if we are using the function GUI point main loop, which means that that it won't immediately closes, that it is kind of a loop asking permanently for an input of the user. And now if we start our little program, you can already see, again, you should see a gray screen like that. I will put it on the right. And nothing is on that gray screen, but we are gonna change that. So let's GUI point geometry. First of all, we should decide which size our program has. We can type something like 300 and 800, like that. Gives us a pretty slim one because 300 is the x-axis, 800 the y-axis. We want the opposite, so 800 and 300. Why do we want to do the opposite? Because then I can simply, here we go, I can simply place it here and you can still see everything. So again, we don't have anything. We wanna now create something like a label or a button, because most GUIs have buttons. So let's create our button. We call it button1 equals Tkinter point button. Now in brackets we need a few arguments like text equals the exit, command equals exit. Important is command takes a method as an input, kind of the pointer to the method. You can't do any, have any arguments in that. So just the method without the brackets, important. Otherwise it won't work. And now we just declared variable, but we also need to place it on our GUI. So we are typing button1 point place. Typing the x-axis and the y-axis, I chose 10 and 50. Now again, if we run our program, now you see exit. Pretty small. Let me do it a little bit. Let me zoom a little bit. Here you can see the exit. And we are exiting by clicking on exit. Pretty simple. Now, what we else can do, we can change the background color. BG equals red. It will also work on coded colors, or I guess red, green, blue. The scale also works, but you can simply type red, and as you can see, the exit is now red. Now a program that just closes itself by clicking a red button is not that interesting. So let's learn something else. Let's include the label. Label1 equals Tkinter point label. In brackets we have our text equals 9 more clicks to go. And yeah, we can also change the background color, but first let's do it without one. Label 1. By the way, the place function, pretty important. You later we use pack or use a layout. This is just as an early phase. But yeah, in later videos we are learning different ways how to place our stuff on the GUI. Now we are just using place, which allows us to use a specific X and Y axis. But yeah, if we are kind of using full size, he won't change anything of the regarding the position. So yeah, let's do X 10 and Y 100. And now if we place it, you can see 9 more clicks to go. And yeah, exit won't do anything. So what we're gonna do? We wanna create a function. Oh no, I wanted to show you that labels also can have a background color. So let's say background equals green. And yeah. Now let's say def delayed exit. Delayed exit. Here we go. And yeah, this will be our new command. We are typing something like, Tkinter or label 1.cget. So what is cget? Cget is a function regarding our label. With cget we can get any variable like text, which gives us the text. But we don't need the whole text, we only need our little number at position 0. And we need it as an integer. We have to declare variable like this. Count equals, Now what we wanna do, we want to decrease this value by changing the label. So we can label config allows us to change any of the arguments we have given before, like text equals or let's do something like text equals label 1.cget.text. Here we go, text. And count equals this one, and text equals f long brackets. Here we go, count -1. And count -1. And I'm totally stupid, just text, but without it. So from position 1. Okay. Now let's start it. Okay, I forgot to update my command. It is delayed exit. And if count equals 0, exit. Label 1. Now what is really important, I forgot to type that, we have to get access to our label, which is a global variable, so we have to type global label. Now again, label 1 is not defined. Oh yeah, really important. I told you before, but I made the same mistake. Of course, you can just, of course you have to leave the brackets like this. Now we have our little counter. He's decreasing, and now he closes. Perfect. Okay, that's probably everything I wanted to show regarding that topic. And yeah, I hope you had learned something. Next time we will show you other things you can place on your GUI moving forward, or maybe I will even show you how to pack things, how to make your GUI be accessible on multiple settings of your monitor and stuff like that. Okay, I wish you have a wonderful evening, dinner time, night time, whatever time it is in your country. See you on the next video and bye bye. Hello ho ho, yeah, welcome back to Python, and yeah, today we are looking at how to create a user-generated interface. And I'm totally stupid because it is called graphical user interface. So yeah, welcome to the outtakes. Hello, whoa, and this is also an outtake because I was confused because I did a mistake last twice, so yeah. Hello ho ho, and yeah, welcome back to Python, welcome back not to Numpy, where am I? Hello ho ho, and yeah, welcome back to Python, welcome back to Tkinter, and yeah, back to graphical user interface. Now we are looking at text entries. As a quick reminder for everyone who is joining now and didn't watch the video before, if you did it, you can skip a few minutes. I will make a timestamp here. For a simple GUI, just import Tkinter. Then type in GUI equals Tkinter.tk with brackets. And important is GUI.main loop. If you want a button, you can declare a variable called button, for example. However you wanna name the variable, you can say Tkinter.button with arguments like text, for example add, and a command like which can be any function. Example, we can write a simple function and now we can type in the function. It's a little bit fast, but yeah, I made a whole video around this. Now to place the button in our GUI, just type button.place and then the X coordinate and the Y coordinate. And I forgot to mention that you also have to set the geometry, like GUI.geometry, then a string containing X and Y axis. And now if you run your little GUI, your script, you can now see it on the right side. We also can add a label which just represents some text, like label equals Tkinter.label, text equals some stuff, font equals Arial, and yeah, 12. And again, a label point place. To place it, we will later learn other methods to place it. And we can type in this coordinates and now run it again and you can see the label. Okay, this was just a quick reminder of the previous video. Now we come to the new stuff. Now let's declare a new variable which we called entry equals Tkinter.entry. And I have to slow down a little bit because now we can switch to the old tempo. Okay, so let's place the entry like entry.place on X equals 20, Y equals, let's say, 150. Now we run our script again. And now we have a little entry. To make it wider, we can change the width, like, oh, not here. wrong argument. We can use the width argument, can say something like 60. Keep in mind, this is not for 60 centimeters. He is using another way of measure, like for example the geometry. So if you type in, for example, 150, you could think it would take half of the x-axis, but it doesn't. It does even take more than that. So if you now run the script, you see it's, let me show you. It kind of doesn't end. Yeah. Okay, no, that was too much of the unmaking. 1 second. Okay, so yeah, type in something like 20. This should do it. Yeah. Okay, but only to have a text where you can write something like I love pizza with pineapple. I don't, by the way, but pizza with apple, yeah. Anyway, yeah, you want to do something with the stuff written in the text entry. So how do we do that? We use our, method. So again, with a button, you can, you can assign a function to the button. And yeah, now we can write text of entry equals entry point get. And yeah, with our get function, we simply get the text written in the entry. And now we can do something like label point. And we should switch this name because, we shouldn't name it label like this. We factor, rename, let's call it label in 1 in completely uppercase. And now we can say label point config text equals text of entry. And with our config key, I didn't know if I covered it in the last video with config. We can change the habits of the label. We can even increase the size. We can do that as well. So let's say font equals 14. It's just for the purpose to show you that this also can change. It has no actual meaning. But if we run the code and now click on add, if we click on add, it should did it increase? Let me see. Yeah, it increased a little bit, but maybe I need to specify that it is Arial. If I specify that, let's run again. No, it increased in the size. Perfect. That's what I wanted. Now, in some cases we don't want, it's not that we only want to change something depending on the, what is written on the entry. We also want to change what is written in the entry with the button. And we can do that with insert, like, entry point insert. And now we have an index and a string, like for example 0. And with the button we are inserting something like a smiley. And now if we run it again, we will simply add some smileys. And one thing works with another, so it will also add smileys to the label. And last but not least, in many occasions we want to delete what is written inside the entry. So we can do this with entry point delete. So for example, you can say 0 to 1 in this case, he should only, delete the first sign. And this is a colon, by the way, but if he's adding a smiley and he's deleting the colon of the smiley, so it's just a bracket. If we kind of out-comment the insert, and again, let's type something, he will delete the first character, and we can simply type and for the argument last. We can also type in last equals and, but in that case it's enough if we just type and in that case he will delete the entire entry. And in this simple way you can try for yourself. You can make a little calculator now, which is a nice task, or has a nice way to kind of test your skills. Just type a little, make a little calculator. And with that in mind, I wish you a wonderful evening, dinner time, night time, whatever time it is in your country. See you on the next video. Bye bye. Hello, ho, ho, and welcome back to Python. Welcome back to creating graphical user interfaces. And we are looking today at different layouts, or I don't know how far we will get this in this video, but at least we are looking at the grid layout and the pack function, because to show you what the pack function is and why it is kind of, or not is, but can be superior to the place function. Let me first write a little GUI with a place function, like we have our GUI equals Tkinter point tk with a lowercase k. Let me create a label. L equals Tkinter point label. Text equals hello moon. And then we have a little text field like T equals Tkinter point entry with width of let's say 20, and a button equals Tkinter point button. Text equals press me. And now we can simply place our stuff. First we should use our geometry, GUI point geometry equals 600 and 600. L point place, T point place, B point play pack, not place, pack comes now. Let's say x equals 20, y equals 20, x equals 20, y equals 50, and again x equals 20, y equals 80. And lift, I mean place, of course. And now let's run it. And you can't see it. Let me show it to you, how the GUI looks. And this doesn't look like a good GUI. So what we also can do, because if we are, okay, now I'm not enlarging it, but if I'm, enlarging it like this, nothing really good happens. But we want to, move our buttons a little bit when the GUI gets bigger and lower. So we can simply say, instead of place, let me move this a little bit aside, we can simply type in pack, like this, pack, pack, pack. And now it's in the middle, it's more sorted. And if we kind of move it like this, the buttons and everything else will move within, which is pretty cool. And here you probably couldn't see it because I didn't set it right. Let me show it by this. Here you can see it now. Oh no, I have to grab it a little bit. Here you can see the button, the entry and the label will move while I'm moving, yeah, the entire GUI. Okay, next step should be closing the GUI, and yeah, let's move to the grid layout. Okay, after the pack function, let's now talk about the grid function, which is kind of similar to the grid layout in Java. If you ever programmed in Java, you will maybe feeling a lot of similarities, but if you don't, that's no problem. I will just explain it. So again, we have our geometry, our label, our entry, our button, but now we should enter or add a new argument in the label, which is master GUI. Here again we have a master, which is again GUI. Okay, we can just copy that to be more efficient, more faster. And yeah, now we don't use pack, but instead we use grid, point grid. And yeah, input is row equals 0, column equals 0, which is the numeration of the row and the column. And yes, we can do something like row equals 1, column equals 0, and row equals 2, and something like column equals 0. And yeah, with that in mind, we can now restart the GUI. And okay, we also need pad x. Say something like pad x, which means just the gap between everything. Let's say pad x equals 1. Now, what is wrong? Okay, because I forgot just to type in grid in this case, and in this case, okay. Now I forgot an n. And here we go. This is kind of similar to at first sight to our previous GUI, but he made 3 lines out of it. So everything we add in row 3, row 4, row 5 will be in the row, and we can also add a new column. And yeah, I should show it to you. Sorry. Here we go. Yeah, it is now kind of similar to our last GUI, but anyways, it is all written in in different rows, and we can also add a column or write something in the second column. We just, let's add something like tb equals, again, a label, point label, master. Now let's do something. Let's add 3 different buttons from B1, B2, B3. Then let's say something like B1 point grid row equals 0, column equals 0. Now column equals 1, of course, because we are not in the same column. Now again, we want to be in different rows. And if we run it now, okay, it's kind of the same one, because I only did grid this one. So again, if we run it now, here you can see it's 3 different buttons because they are now in our next column. So now why grid can be really useful and can be even more complex, we can not only use our GUI as a master, but we can also use any other label as a master. Now let's call it master label equals Tkinter.label, and let's say master in this case again equals GUI. Text, we don't have a text, but let's say BG equals green. And now let's add something like 4 buttons. Let's say 4 buttons. I'm not creative with the variable names because it's just for test issue purposes, and I guess I don't need any specific names for the variables now. But the master of our new buttons, and that's the difference is our master label. That's why we called it master label. And now let's grid them. B11 point grid row equals 0, column equals again 0. Let's do that 4 times. And I hope you can see it. You should see everything. Let me do it a little bit smaller and put it on the right side. And now we can do something like this, this, and this. And if we run our GUI now, if I didn't I forgot to grid our master label. Say master label point grid, which is column equals 2 and row equals 0. Now if we run it again, only 1 button, because I will always do the same mistake again. But now, here we go. Now we have our grid layout inside the grid layout, because this is our master label with a green background, and inside we have this 4 buttons. And this counts as 1 column. Okay, so that is everyone regarding that topic. Next time, I need to have a look what we can do next time, but we will focus more on functions and commands, I guess. But with that in mind, I wish you, why is he showing that? I have to check the video afterwards. I wish you a wonderful evening, dinner time, night time, whatever time it is in your country. Sorry that the video got a little bit chaotic, but maybe the fail can also be some fun. Some fun, see me failing. Okay, see you and bye-bye. No, see you and bye-bye, wrong button. Hello, ho, ho, and welcome back to Python, welcome back to Tkinter, and welcome back to graphical user interfaces. And today let's delete this. Today we are diving deeper into buttons, covering more about buttons, even more, because we already covered buttons, but only the surface, and there's a big iceberg regarding that topic. So you can do much more than just adding a little button, defining a command and a background color and a text. So as a quick reminder, let's first make a button and a GUI. Let's first do a GUI object or a TK object, TK.tk, like already we did it in our previous videos. We also did a main loop in our previous videos. And we also placed a button like button equal GUI point, TK point button. Text, which defines the text, the text of the button, click me baby one more time, And yeah, button point place, x equals 40, y equals 40. And now if we run our GUI, we should also, yeah, set the geometry like GUI point geometry. Let's say no picture, 400 and 600. Now again, yeah, click me baby one more time. This is a simple button. One thing that you already know probably is the background. You can set the background color to red with BG. Yeah, now we have a red background, and you also can, yeah, use the border argument, BD argument. Now a string with a 10, for example. And now we have borders, as you can see here, with yeah, pretty thickness, because 10 means about 10 pixels, I guess. And we can even go move up to 100. Now having an even bigger button. Yeah, if you need this, probably you won't. But yeah, this is pretty simple and self-explaining, but we want, if we want to attend a more modern style, we use TTK widgets. So if you don't know what I mean with that, don't worry. What you need is the code I'm providing, so, or the code, not, and the rest you will probably understand later, because I didn't understand it as well at first. So we just need to import Tkinter point TTK as TTK. We can also, yeah, can do it like this. And we can say GUI point, no, we don't need to change this, but we can now use a TTK button. As you probably see, if it's not covered by the GUI, but it isn't, now you can see that we have a yellow underline regarding the BG and BD argument, because we don't need that. This is not used in this way if we use it in the TTK library or package, but we can now define a style. So we can define a certain style, and the style can be put in as an argument to the TTK button, and then everything will change, and the style is now kind of a recipe for our button. So now let's, yeah, define a recipe. First of all, yeah, we need to create a style object. And first of all, and this is also a confusing part, we need a string which defines the name of our recipe. We already had to declare a variable, set up a variable name, we named it style, but now we also need a string name for this, for our recipe. We call it Ute, which is a German, yeah, German name. And now T button, which means, which is referring to Tkinter TTK buttons. Yeah, now after using the style, we can also define a font. And I did it entirely wrong, and I now remember I did that a lot of times, because yeah, a style, you just declare the style. Now we after declaring the style, and this is the hard part in my opinion, because it is, you don't do it like you did it maybe in other packages, where we just create the object and then set the arguments. Now we have to use the configure function to, yeah, define the arguments. And with that we can do something like, yeah, like I already said, we need a string name, T point T button. If it has to be applied to a button, we always have to name the string however we want, but it has to end with point T button. And this T and B in uppercase, the U, the double T, the O and the N in lowercase. Okay, now we can finally define a font. For example, Arial, 15 for the size, and bold, because it is should be bold. We can also do something like underline, but yeah, I want bold. And now to assign, or to, yeah, tell our new button that it has a certain style, we type in style equals, and now not style, like you may probably know, probably think, but we need our style string. Yeah, pretty confusing. It was pretty confusing for me at first too, but here we go. This is how it works, and as you can see, the layout is entirely different. It's probably differs because we now use a TTK button and not a TK button, but it also differs because we had a font Arial 15. Can also use the background or the foreground, and I'm too stupid to type, foreground equals green. And yeah, now it is green. Pretty simple, but not that easy in my opinion. Okay, now we come to the second thing. So yeah, you probably realize I needed another recording because I kind of messed up at this point. Okay, what we're gonna do now, we can also type in background like this, background equals yellow. And now if we run it, let me show you. It is still not yellow as the background. And yeah, that is because I typed background wrong. So you should always type it rightly. But now what I really wanted to show is that we got a little yellow frame around the button, but the button isn't, the background isn't yellow at all. And that's because the usual theme of TTK doesn't like backgrounds. So yeah, to change that, we type in style point theme use and yeah, alt for alternative. And if we now run it, we finally got our yellow background. Okay. Now if we move our cursor around or above it and wanna click it, we see that the background changes. So how can we, now we come to the next topic, how can we change the background at all depending on if the cursor is above the button or not? Yeah, so we learn a new function which is called style point map. And yeah, as an input we need ute point t button, and I probably didn't mention it before. If you name your style, it is really important that you use point t button because it is referring to the TTK button. If I already mentioned it, I'm sorry. If I didn't, please keep that in mind, and style was uppercase. Okay, now we can type something like, yeah, foreground. It is important that you type these arguments white because yeah, I always did that wrong a lot of times, and yeah, got many issues by that because I didn't realize what was wrong, but I simply wrote the argument wrong. Okay, now foreground, if we use the map, we kind of decide in which condition the button has which properties, attributes, however we want to call it, like the foreground color. And we can type something like active, the first input of the tuple, and yeah, the more important and complicated stuff, because we are now heading to more advanced territory. I should probably explain it a little bit more. We have this square bracket and this regular brackets, and we need a list, and inside this list we need a tuple or multiple tuples. Okay, now we can type in something like active, first part of the tuple, second could be black. And yeah, now we can type, we can try it first. We run the code. And now if we move at it, we see, when we move above it, we see, now the writing turns black. Perfect. We also want to change the background. So background equals, and again, square brackets, usual brackets, a tuple inside a list. active, and yeah, comma, and now we can type in red. And if we now run it, as you can see here, now this, while moving the cursor, it gets red. Perfect, like we wanted to see it. And yeah, and if we now delete the alternative design, we you see the frame moves instead of it. So yeah, font should also be possible being changed, like if we type in font equals, again, square brackets, curly, regular brackets, no curly brackets. Now we have our font, but first of all we need something like, again, active. And yeah, now the font. Now if we run it, try it again. Yeah, this won't, okay, this doesn't probably work with the map function. But yeah, anyways, you can try it for yourself. Some arguments can be altered with by the map function, some not. As we now found out, a font won't be altered, but yeah, with background and stuff like that, it is possible. And yeah, that's probably it. I don't have anything left to say, except I wish you a wonderful evening, wonderful dinner time, night time, whatever time it is in your country. And yeah, hopefully see you in the next video. Please leave a comment regarding feedback, advice, suggestions. Please do a thumbs up if you liked the video, a thumbs down if you disliked it. And what else I wanted to say? Yeah, sorry if some stuff was chaotic, but yeah, problem was that this was a little bit complicated regarding the syntax, even for me. Oh, what means even for me? I'm not the pro, totally not. But yeah, it was kind of complicated. So yeah, see you hopefully in the next video where we cover more easy topics, hopefully. See you and bye-bye. Hello, ho, ho, and yeah, welcome back to another episode of Python and another episode of, GUI or Tkinter, but the last one, I guess, will get, or is a little bit closer to the actual topic, because we are using the Tkinter package again. And yeah, I was on vacation, because of that there weren't any videos last time, but yeah, here we go back. Yeah, as usual, we import Tkinter as tk and creating our first stuff like tk equals tk.tk and tk point main loop, or we shouldn't call it tk, we should call it something like root or GUI. And today's topic is, by the way, check buttons. Let me first create a simple GUI. And yeah, we have our root, our geometry. It's good to kind of, repeat that. So yeah, let's do something like 300 more 300. And again, let's do a little label. Label equals tk point label. Text equals 0. And butty equals tk point button. Text equals add. Command equals add. We will go to the function later. And we will get now to it, definition add. Again, don't no brackets in the command, because we are pointing to a function as an input. So add takes, let's also create a global variable, num equals 0. It takes global num and adds 1. This is again repetition because we already did this. And what else we need to do? We need to config our label so it will update itself. Config text equals f num. Okay, now if we run it, let me see, I forgot to place it, but you are at least able to see it. So yeah. Let's place them really short, the label point pack place. Something like, yeah, let's do it like this. Come on. If you want to do it quick, you make it even slower because you kind of are in a hurry. So yeah, again, now we have our button, and yes, we add something by clicking on the add button. Pretty obvious. Now let's finally come to today's topic. Let's add the check button. So first of all, let's create a check button. What is a check button? It is something you can click on it, yeah, it's kind of an X. You click on it and you exit. You know, you obviously know what, or you obviously encountered it before, but maybe my explanation is a little bit bad, so you don't know what I mean. So let me show it, and let me close this. So checky putty, perfect name for our first check button, tk point check button. And now what is important, we need a little bit more arguments than before. We need first of all a text, or we should add a text like, yeah, let's do something like size matters indeed. And yeah, now on value equals 1, off value equals 0. This is important because we need a variable. So you probably, if you see a check button, or let's do that later. Let's first just place a check button so you know what I mean with check button. X equals 30 again, and Y equals 80. But with 1 comma, not 2 commas. Let's run it, and yeah, this is a check button. Something you click on, and yeah, not an X, but yeah, a check mark. This is cool, check mark. So this is how you can add check button. But what we want to do is we want to kind of, yeah, if sizes matters is, yeah, clicked, or we have our check mark, we want to add even more than just 1. So let's again close it, and let's do something. Yeah, we need a variable. So we can't just simply say if check butty point get integer or get something, and then we can increase it even more and we get bigger numbers, because there's nothing like this. We need to add a variable, which is kind of the variable we assign to our check button. Okay, so let's call the variable check variable equals now tk point, not tl, so tk point int_var with brackets. Let's reformat a little bit because we don't like the yellow underline. So we have check_var equals tk point int_var. Now our variable is check_var. And now this is also important. I can show you that by kind of making it smaller. Now if I run it, we get an error. let me explain you why we get this error, or why we waste an exception is waste, to be more specific, or tell it in proper programming language. Yes, we get an exception because we first need need to declare the master than the variable. So here, as you can see here, we have our root, and under root geometry we need check var. So again, if we run it now, we don't get anymore. We don't get an exception anymore, but we get our size matters, our little GUI back. Now to add something to our add function, we need an if conditions. If, I guess it was num. Yeah, it's just if num, because we have it returns an integer, 0 or 1, and 1 means true, 0 means false, like always. And now we can do label point config again text equals, or let's copy that, and let's also say num plus equals, yes, I just added typed on some random keys on my keyboard. Yes, so let's try it again. Maybe, now again the GUI kind of covered everything, but I guess it covered nothing important, and I did something wrong, because it should only be increased if size matters is clicked on. So let's see what we did wrong. Okay, it was pretty simple. So let's head back, and then I explain what I added. So first of all, I did a really dumb mistake. You already laughed maybe. If num is not such variable, but our number. So let's do check var, but also check var point get, and this returns us the integer we wanna get. So now if we run it again, we will only add 1, but if we say size matters indeed, we will add more. Pretty simple, but kind of complicated, and a lot of stuff to add for such a little widget. Yes, but that's probably everything for today. So see you in the next video, hopefully. And I kind of have to get back into recording. That's why I maybe talked a little bit slower today. Was on vacation. Wish you a wonderful evening, dinner time, night time, whatever time it is in your country. See you and bye bye. Hello ho ho, and welcome back to another episode of Python and another episode of GUI or Tkinter, but Tkinter makes it more closer, because we are doing stuff again in Tkinter, and I got accidentally on a button. Hello ho ho, and welcome back to another episode, and it is that I need to get back into. Hello ho ho, and welcome back to another no, on another button. So hello ho ho, welcome back to another episode of Python, another episode of Tkinter, and another episode of GUIs. Today, it is still called tutorial for beginners or course for beginners, because today we are looking on a more easy widget or part of Tkinter, which are the combo boxes. First, let's create a really simple GUI with import Tkinter as tk, or no screenshot, Tkinter as tk. And now from Tkinter import ttk as ttk, and now let's create something like GUI equals tk point tk, GUI point geometry 600 and something like def, or yeah, let's here define the function def button fun equals pass. I will do that soon. Now button 1 equals tk point button, command equals button fun, text equals click me. Yeah. Now let's come to the combo box. Oh yeah, I forgot something, like first button 1 point place, x equals 20, y equals 20, and GUI point main loop. That as a quick reminder how you create a simple GUI. Now if we run it, we should get something like this. A simple pointless button, and you can't see it. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds. Here we go. So if we click on click me, yeah, really creative name, nothing happens, but yeah, that's all we want, because now let's create a combo box. Finally, because that's our topic. So how do you do it? We already imported TTK, as TTK is totally pointless, so let's just import TTK. And now combo master equals, yeah, I needed a name, and just combo isn't creative enough. Combo master equals TTK point combo box. Now what is a combo box? Combo box, you may, if you for example have a game and you have graphics and you can have multiple options for the graphic, for example shadow quality, high, low, medium, and yeah, where you can choose whether it is high, medium or low, this widget is called combo box. And yeah, the values is a kind of key element or key argument for that, because now we are typing 3. Yes, that's up to 3. It can be even more. It can up to 1 million. I don't know how where the limit is, but in the values we type in the option as a list. So we can say something like AS, BS, goodbye kitty, and hello dog. So now we can simply say combo master point place x equals 20, y equals 60. Now again, if we run it, here we go. You see this, let me zoom a little bit. You can see now our combo box and the options. And yeah, this should be visible. It is visible in, that's bad. It's not visible if you're doing it on OBS. Pretty lame. 1 second. Sorry for the strange circumstances, but now you could see it. We have multiple options as, BS, goodbye kitty, and hello dog. And yeah, so this is pretty simple, pretty easy to implement, but we have a few arguments. So what can we do? For example, self-explaining argument justify equals center, and it should be written in lowercase. Gives us that that the arguments are written in the center. Now back to our GUI, let's rerun it. See for yourself. Now it's just in the center, like it's obvious. First it was more on the left side, now it's in the center. And one last issue, if you can see here, we can write our own stuff, but if we really want an option with only 3 different, if we only want a combo box with only 3 different options, we can use another argument. This argument is called state. Let's see, state equals read only. Now let's rerun it, and it's completely written wrong, so only. Let's again run it. And now we can't write in it anymore, but we can still choose our arguments. It was like when I showed you before, you can, if you click on it, you can see the 4 options, but it won't be recorded on OBS. You can try it for yourselves and you will see what's really different. But yeah. So last and least, or but not least, you can do a font equals, and now we can define a tuple with a new argument like Arial for, yeah, and background equals black. Did I write it right? No, I'm totally stupid. Font 12, background equals black, and there is 1 or even 2 brackets too much. So let me see with my little eyes. Where's the issue? Oh, a comma is missing. Now let's reformat it. So here we go. Now you could see everything. Perfect. Now let's rerun it. And now, as you should be able to view, okay, the background is not black. Okay, the background is not black because, like, in the button tutorial you have to need a style, but yeah, that's a little bit too long. Maybe we can do that in another video. So let's keep it kind of simple. If you wanna know, I can post a code where we actually got a black background, but in this case I guess this should be enough. Now let's decide what will happen if an option is chosen. That's something like, yeah, dev button fun, button1.config, text equals, combo master point, get. Should be that simple, I guess. And it is. Yeah. So you just need the get argument, like here we have hello dog. And yeah, the button changes to hello dog. Really simple stuff. So just use combo master point get, and you will get the output or the given state, or however we want to call it, the current chosen option of the combo box. There's also another similar widget called, I guess, a list box or something like this. Works pretty similar. And yeah, with that in mind, I am finished for today and wish you a wonderful evening, nighttime, dinner time, whatever time it is in your country. Sorry. And yeah, hopefully you've learned something, and see you in the next video. Bye bye. Hello, ho ho, and yeah, welcome back to Python, welcome back to graphical user interfaces. And another episode with Tkinter, or we are using again Tkinter. Now we are trying to create multiple windows, or now we are designing a button that creates a new window, which means a new TK object is created. And yeah, there are 2 simple ways. So let's first do the basic stuff like import Tkinter as TK, TK point TK, GUI equals TK point TK, GUI point main loop, GUI point geometry, and now we want to open a new window like a button which is called options, and then we get a new GUI to define the options, the graphical options, any stuff like that. So let's do something like GUI point button2 equals TK point button text equals options, command equals open options. So we need our function def open, which is called open options, of course. And yeah, In this options, we want to create a GUI2. GUI2, which is also another tk object, equals tk.tk in lowercase the k. And yes. Now if we run GUI1, nothing, because do you even see it? Okay, at least you can see it, but it's nothing spectacular because I didn't place the button. So let me place the button with button 2 point, not pack, but place, x equals 20, y equals 20. Now one again. So yeah, if we click on options, another window is opened, but you can't see it. So let me share my, I mean, in this case, I should just share my screen like this. Yeah, and if we options, we get an empty window and another empty window here and another empty window here. And yeah, that's simply because always an instance of GUI2 is created. So what we want to do is, first of all, limit it. So let's say something like GUI2 equals none, and if GUI2 is none, in this case we should use is none, not equals none. Now let's put everything in this if condition, GUI2 point, and let's type global GUI so he knows I'm referring to the global variable. Now GUI2 points, let's say button 2, button 3 equals, I don't even have a button 1, but anyways, equals tk point button. Now let's say something like, yeah, GUI2 is the master. Text equals close or clone. Command equals GUI2 point destroy. Okay, now let's try it. We run the GUI. Options, and I forgot to place a button. Let's do this first. 3 point place, x equals 20, y equals 20. Back to the screen, let's run it. GUI, options, and yeah. Now important, if we click on options, no third or fourth window will open. There's just the second window, and when we click on clone, it is closed. And yeah, we still can't open another one because now GUI2 is assigned. So to fix that, let's head back to the coding process, and yeah, can simply say GUI2 equals none. And this won't work, so first of all we need another function. So def, now close the damn window. I did really much try and error and had Googled a lot, and yeah, was kind of hard to get to that. So it's really simple now, but I didn't get it, to be honest. GUI 2 point destroy. Let's first say global GUI, global GUI2. Now GUI2 point destroy. And GUI2 equals none. And destroy. Destroy or destroy? should be right. Let's try it out. Or first, let's change the command to close the damn window. Close the damn window without the brackets. Now, let me show you. So GUI, 1 second, here's the GUI. Options, we have a window. Again, we can't open a new window. But now if we close it, we can open it again. Like this. One issue is left because, again, let me share the screen. Options. Let's open the options. And now if we close it like this, it won't work. So what we need now is a new function. I'm sorry, not really a new function, but we need to type in, and this is the hard part, GUI point protocol. Now we need a certain string, so he knows what we want to protocol. We delete window. I hope I wrote it correctly, but yeah, there shouldn't be a mistake. And yeah, close the damn window again, like always without the brackets. Now let me share the screen again. Now if we run it, let's run options. Let's close it, options. Now it's also restartable. So now it's up to you. Here you can get a combo box and yeah, make certain options. And you have a button like verify. There's anything is possible now. So do what you wanna do. It's up to you. And yeah, I am finished. And yes, that was the video. Hopefully you could kind of get anything. Hopefully see you in the next video. Have a nice evening, dinner time, night time, whatever time it is in your country. See you hopefully in the next video. And yeah, now I will start the live stream like every day. Bloop. Hello, ho, ho, and welcome back to Python. Welcome back to another episode of Tkinter. And yeah, this is probably the last video regarding Tkinter. You can dive much deeper into that topic, and yeah, I totally forgot something. And this is GUI point. This is to create the GUI object. GUI equals tk point. TK. Perfect. So yeah, today we are looking at slide bars. What is a slide bar? This thing here where I'm clicking on is a slide bar. And yeah, if you look to the right on your screen, you will probably have the option to increase or decrease your volume also using a slide bar. So I guess now it's kind of obvious what a slide bar is. So yeah, how do we implement a slide bar into our GUI? Here we get a simple GUI. By the way, before I forgot to mention, the code will be in the pinned comment below. Okay, now let's see. This one is a really simple GUI. Here you can see it, nothing on the GUI. And yeah, now we can simply declare a new variable called slider equals tk point scale. Scale is a keyword, we don't use ttk. I can, by the way, delete this because we only need Tkinter. And yeah, from 0 to 100 and show value true. So what happens? If I run it, maybe nothing because I need to place it. So yeah, GUI point place or slider point place x equals, let's say 20, y equals 20. Now if we run it, you can see this slide bar. Can you see it? Yes, you can see it. And yeah, show value equals true. So on the left side, you can see the value from 0 to 100. Pretty simple, but yeah, kind of pretty useful for certain things. Yeah, and to get the value, it is even simpler. with the function slider point get, you simply get the value, but we don't want to print it. Let's do something like label equals tk point label with text equals nothing and label point place x equals 20, or let's say x equals 60, y equals 20, and label point place. Oh, we already did this. And now a button equals tk point button, command equals update, text equals update, and yeah, we need the function update, def update, label point config text equals 1 second, yeah, slider point get, and yeah, button point place x equals 60 and y equals 60. More typing. So now let's run it. You can see here we can slide it, and with update on the right side you can see we get the value of the slider and we are updating it. So if you simply want to know how to create a slider, that's already it. So you can kind of close the video if you only need that, but if you want to see something more, I can show you a few parameters or arguments like, let me first close this, orient equals tk point vertical. This should be, I guess, enumeration. And yeah, with this, let's simply run it again. Okay. Yeah, of course, I guess this is a default value. Let's use no. Let's see. Horizontal. Now again. Yeah, now we got it. Yeah. Looks even better when it is horizontal. And yeah, we can also add something like through color. Through through color. Something like this, I can't pronounce it. I'm honest with that. Light below. Now let's run it again. And yeah, now you see the background is light blue. Then we can border width, or the argument was highlight thickness. Highlight thickness like this. Let's say 33, which is way too high, I guess. Yeah, it is. Okay, let's just say it is, yeah, 12. And yeah, you have borders, but yeah, doesn't do anything relevant. Doesn't do anything relevant. But what can be more important is the resolution. So let's delete this and get resolution equals 10. Or because I will copy this code. Yeah, let's change highlight thickness with resolution. Resolution equals 10. Because now if we run it again, you sometimes want to have larger steps like this. Okay, here the label is getting in our way. So let's simply, yeah, let's use it vertical again. Now running it. Yeah, here you can see it better. Now what you see it is in bigger steps like 0, 10, 20, 30, 70, 80. If you have something like only If you want to, skip from 1 to 9, then want to get to 10, and want to skip from 11 to 19, so you get directly to 20, you can get the resolution or use the resolution argument. And yeah, that is probably it. I hope I don't forget to pin the comment or the code in the comment. Anyway, if you have any questions, if you have any feedback, anything, please write it down in the comments. Yeah, hopefully seeing you in the next video. Pretty short today, but yeah, kind of don't have to stretch any video. Oh, I hope you have a wonderful evening, dinner time, nighttime, whatever time it is in your country. Yeah, see you hopefully in the next video. Bye bye. Hello ho ho ho, and yeah, welcome back to Tkinter. Yeah, with another video. We are really close to the finishing line because there are a few widgets I wanna show you, but the main part of Tkinter is already covered. If this is the first video you are watching regarding Tkinter, a few things. You can simply create an GUI using import Tkinter. You should always import Tkinter as tk. Create a tk object like GUI equals tk.tk without any arguments. GUI point main loop is important that the GUI will show up. And yeah, if we now run our program, you can now see in the middle of the screen is a GUI that recently opened. Yeah, we didn't add anything. Now you can add buttons and labels. I already made videos regarding that. Today we wanna look at a more complex topic, and these are the notebooks. This is something I recently learned, so I'm also pretty new to that topic, but it was really cool, and after seeing that I thought something like I need to show that and make a video out of it. So yeah, here we go. So what is a notebook? You can simply compare it with a browser that has multiple tabs, because a notebook you also can have something with multiple tabs, and you can add multiple tabs, delete multiple tabs. But yes, unlike a browser, you have to set the things up. You need a button that opens a new browser, you need a button that closes a new browser, and maybe my talk is even confusing you even more. So instead of talking, I should simply create a notebook and show you everything by doing it myself. So yeah, first of all, because it is a more complex topic, we need from Tkinter import ttk as, this can be used as ttk. And now we can simply create a notebook. Notebookie equals ttk point notebook, and argument is our GUI, because it kind of needs a master. And now we can simply use notebookie point pack with brackets. Now let's run our little script again. Now you can see the frame got even smaller, and harder to handle. It's not resizable anymore, and you can't even see it because it is kind of invisible. If I enlarge it, you can see this white button or white whatever you want to call it. But that's because everything is still empty and we need to feed it. So what we need is a frame. So let's do a frame. Frame equals ttk point frame, and which is kind of can you call it a tab, like a tab in the browser? I don't really know, but what I know is that you need to have our object of the notebook as an input here. Now let's try to run it again. Nothing new. So we have to add more. So regarding the frame, like in the GUI or yeah, like a label, we can add a few things to the frame, like let's say label test equals tk point label, master should be framey, and yeah, text equals I am a pencil. Now let's run it. Again, nothing new, because we need to pack it, so label test point pack. Now let's run it again. And that's because I forgot something else. We need to, yeah, notebookie point add. We need to add our frame to the notebook, like notebookie point add framey. Now finally we have, oh, this now finally if we run it, we got I am a pencil as a label, and we can resize it. And yeah, you probably know what am I clicking here. Can you even see it? Yes. Let me enlarge it a little bit. Yes, you can see it. Yes, this is kind of the tab. So let's close it again. So this is kind of boring. We can, by the way, we can give our, yeah, frame a name, like I want to be a frame. Now if we run it again, okay, text equals I want to be a frame. If we run it again, now let's enlarge it a little bit. Here you can see we have a new tab with I am a pencil. Okay, this is as simple as it seems to be. Now we want to add certain things by default. And yeah, I would, by the way, I would do something like pad x equals 10 and pad y equals 10, just to increase the size of the tab a little bit. And yeah, now we need a new button that kind of creates a new tab for us. So we have already a label. Now let's add a button that is called add tabby webby equals tk point button. And yeah, command. Oh, wrong. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, again, master is framey because we want to use the button as a new frame. And like framey text equals, let's expand, and yeah, command equals expandy. Now we need a new function, of course, because yeah, def equal def expandy. And yeah, we need brackets. We need brackets. We need brackets. So now it worked. Now let's add a new frame. Framey equals ttk point frame, master equals notebookie. Now let's simply add the label to our frame. But now it is framey with double I and a label point pack. And now we shouldn't forget it. Notebookie point add framey. And yeah, where is the add file? And text. Text equals frame of the game. And we need to add a button to close it, but because yeah, we could simply do something like adding new frames, but a frame should also be closed. So let's add a button. Now we can simply, oh, and I should add where we point pack it with pad x and pad y to get us some space. This button we call closey wosey. Let's close. Now again framey with double I. closey wosy needs to be packed. By the way, if I pack it, yeah, I completely screwed it up because pad X and pad Y should be here. Now the command should be, I guess, simply framey point destroy. Framey point destroy. No, framey point destroy. Okay, now let's see what I maybe forgot. Let's run it. Here we go. Let's expand. So this is simply possible. We expand it and we can close the tabs. So we have multiple tabs. We can close them. We can expand them. Can you see that? Yes, you can. Okay, everything as planned. Everything works. Okay, and that's even it. I'm finished, I guess. So with that in mind, I wish you a wonderful evening, dinner time, night time, whatever time it is in your country. Hopefully see you in the next video. And yeah, have a nice day. Bye bye. Where's the close? Here's the close.